You know that feeling, right? You're stuck at a certain level in your Carrom game, just kind of relying on feel and a little bit of luck. Well, today, we're throwing that all out the window. We're going to look at a radical new way to get good, and we're doing it by borrowing the structured, scientific playbook from Professional Pool. This is going to completely change how you see the board.
And this is the idea that's going to guide us from the legendary pool coach Ralph Eckert. What he's really saying is that greatness isn't some magic you're born with. Nope. It's built. It's engineered, piece by piece, with a smart plan and a lot of focus.
Which leads us to this wild question. What if you took the cold, hard logic of a pro pool player, all their knowledge of physics, angles, and mental toughness, and you aimed it squarely at the Carrom board? Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Okay, so first things first. We're ditching the guesswork. We're moving beyond just feeling the shot. Instead, we're building a solid foundation, a system that replaces "I hope this goes in" with "I know where this is going." And that foundation starts with the laws of the game. Right. Before you can control the board, you have to understand its rules. I mean the rules of physics. See, pool is all about rolling balls. Carrom is a game of sliding discs. And that one tiny difference, well, it changes absolutely everything. Just look at the difference here. Pool's got all this complex stuff going on, rolling, sliding, side spin that can curve a ball. But Carrom, it's so much cleaner. It's almost pure slide on a super slick surface. Spin barely matters. And this simplicity, believe it or not, is actually a superpower. It gives us a new, unbreakable rule. Okay, this is huge. In pool, a stun shot, where the cue ball hits and travels off at a perfect 90 degrees, is a really high-level, difficult shot. In Carrom, that's the default. Every single time you make a cut shot, your striker is going to follow that 90-degree path. If you can master this one idea, the tangent line, you can predict exactly where your striker will go every single time. But there's another wrinkle. So what's this? 3-to-1. That's the weight difference. Your striker is roughly 3 times heavier than a coin. In pool, the cue ball and the other balls weigh the same. This little fact has a massive, and I mean massive, consequence for one of the most basic shots in the game. And here it is. This is wild. You know in pool where you can hit a ball head on and the cue ball just stops dead? You can't do that in Carrom. It's physically impossible. Because the striker is so much heavier, it will always push through a little bit. It never stops dead. This changes everything about how you have to play those straight-in shots. So let's just recap our new reality. 1, the pure sliding motion makes that 90-degree roll king. 2, the 3-to-1 weight ratio means stop shots are a myth. And 3, the super low friction means your sense of touch has to be incredibly fine-tuned. Okay, now that we know the rules of this universe, we can finally build a reliable aiming system. All right, physics class is over. Now for the really fun stuff, how to actually aim with pinpoint accuracy. We're going to take what we've learned and apply a proven system that gets rid of the guesswork for good. This right here is the ghost ball method. If you've played pool, you know it. If not, it's about to become your best friend. It's so simple. First, you see the line from the pocket to the coin. Next, you imagine a ghost striker sitting right on that line, just kissing the coin. And that's it. That ghost is your target. You're not aiming at the coin anymore. You're aiming for the center of that imaginary striker. It's a system, and it works. But just when you think you've got it perfect, there's a little gremlin in the system called friction. When your striker glances off a coin, that friction can actually nudge, or throw, the coin just slightly off course. It's why you sometimes hit a shot that looks perfect, but just lips out of the pocket. But don't worry, the pros know how to beat it. And here's the secret. To fight back against that throw, pros intentionally aim just a tiny bit thinner than the ghost ball tells them to. It's called overcutting. It feels wrong at first, but what you're doing is letting that little frictional throw push the coin right back onto the perfect path to the pocket. It's a small tweak that makes a world of difference. Okay, so we've got the physics down and we've got an aiming system, but knowledge is pretty useless unless you can actually do it, right? So now we move from theory to practice with a training plan that lets you actually measure your improvement. First up, the channel drill. This one is super simple, but it's a field sobriety test for your flick. All you do is try to shoot your striker cleanly through a narrow gate. If you keep hitting the sides, it tells you there's a little wobble or squirt in your release. This drill forces you to build a straight, pure, honest-to-goodness flick. Next, we train our touch with the center stop drill. This isn't about power at all. It's about finesse. You're trying to gently rebound the striker and have it come to a rest inside the center circle. This is how you calibrate your internal speedometer for the board conditions on that specific day, because they're always a little different. And finally, the Carrom clock. This is the drill where everything comes together. To pocket these coins in order, you can't just think about the shot you're on. You have to use that 90-degree rule to plan where your striker will end up, setting you up for the next shot. This is how you learn to think 2 or 3 moves ahead. And this is how you know it's working. The scorecard. This turns aimless practice into real, data-driven training. You can literally see your weaknesses, track your scores over time, and know exactly what a pro-level performance looks like. You're not hoping you get better anymore, you are engineering it.
So you can have a perfect flick, a perfect aim, and a great training plan, and you can still lose under pressure. Because the final piece of the puzzle, maybe the most important piece, is what happens between your ears.
I absolutely love this quote. What Eckert's saying is that the discipline and the focus you learn here, the ability to stay calm when it matters most, that's not just a Carrom skill, that's a life skill. You're training for more than just the game. So here's a practical tool for that, the OK protocol. It's a simple pre-shot routine. You analyze, you set up, you see the shot in your mind's eye. Then you tell yourself, okay. And once you say okay, you go. No more thinking, no more adjusting, you just execute. It separates the planning from the doing, and it kills that last-second doubt that makes you miss. And here's your #1 rule for match play. Live in your comfort zone. These are the shots you know from your training that you can make 80% of the time or more. Resist the urge to go for that flashy, low-percentage miracle shot. That's the chaos zone. Winning games isn't about brilliance, it's about not missing the shots you're supposed to make. And that's really the whole point of this entire philosophy. With every drill, with every structured shot, you're doing something more than just playing a game. You're taking this little square of chaos, and you are training your mind to impose calm, deliberate order on it. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Maybe the secret to getting truly great at anything, Carrom, pool, music, whatever, isn't about some special inborn talent for that thing. Maybe, just maybe, it's about the universal principles of structure, measurement, and discipline that you decide to bring to the table.